All right, stop being seen as the arts and crafts department at your business. Let me explain. What is the arts and crafts department? Why I'm so passionate about marketers repositioning themselves within an org. So, a lot of marketing departments are not taken seriously by other departments and executives. This is because we're seen as a cost center, not a profit center. And when times are good and people are building brand, hey, look, people can get behind us. Look at all the engagement, impressions, all the things that we're getting. However, we've seen in the last 18 months an economic turn. And with that comes a real push for profitability. Show me your value, or I'm going to have to show you the door. And that's unfortunately happened to so many marketers. We've seen layoffs like crazy. So I'm recording this to kind of help you as the marketer understand, where you fit in your org, but two, how to reposition yourself so that you are more aligned with the executives and really not seen as that cost center, or as I call the arts and crafts department. Let's hop in. Okay, so I'm going to start with what not to do. The one thing or multiple things that I would really look at not doing is not chasing shiny objects or gimmicks, right? There's a lot of gimmicks in our industry, and you got people, they're mistaking attention with influence. So you can do something that's loud, but loud doesn't always mean valuable, doesn't always mean influential. So I really want us to look at not aiming to be maybe the most well-known brand or the most seen, because a lot of those impressions might actually not lead to sales. Instead, we want to be known well. We want to be known well by our customer and our potential customer. So looking at what problem points, ideal customer profile actually fits that they have, and how can we solve those, is going to be a lot more valuable than hopping on a trend and having that trend go, quote unquote viral, and taking that back to your boss, because your boss is going to say, hey, that's great. The trend went viral. Awesome. But how does that affect the business? And if we don't have that to back it up on the other side of the content within our analytics, then I don't want to say the efforts are futile, but they're definitely, misaligned. So to start with that, this is really the first thing you need to do when you get into a job as a marketer, is you need to sit with, whether, if you're a CMO, you need to sit with the CEO, you need to sit with the other departments as well, go through your KPIs. What are the numbers that you're going to be held to the fire over? Really understand those, understand how they align with the business goals, right? Is your business in a race to get users? All right, goals will be different there. Do you need to increase lead volume over the next month? All right, that's going to be different. Or do you need to affect average order value throughout Q3? Okay, that's different. So really looking at what your goals are and how they're aligned with the business. The closer you are to the revenue as a marketer, and the more that you can actually show, hey, all the things we did here, generated X amount of leads, or increase in lead flow, or we actually got way more people to stick around on our landing page after we did the adjustments, and that lifted conversion rate by X%. So not being afraid of those numbers or establishing them with your executive team is a massive step toward, I hate to say your legitimacy, but honestly, like towards being seen as a legitimate contributor to the business and not the group that's doing TikToks or having all the fun. The other thing off that too, right, is being able to show what you've done and prove it against the metrics that you have. That's actually how you unlock the ability to go have fun and work on some of those outside of the box campaigns or take some swings. You want to make sure your executives have full faith in the marketing machine before you go and ask for a very out of the box idea. All right, the next thing I think is important for marketing departments in general is to build a plan you can actually execute. Bite off what you can chew and do it really well. Too many teams are stretching themselves too thin. They'll have an executive that comes in and goes, hey, what about TikTok, or what about Be Real or Clubhouse or whatever it may be? And if you haven't planned to resource those platforms, you can get sucked in very quickly, and it can become another platform that you think, oh, I'm just adding a little bit more on. No, when you're doing that now, you're actually going to be hurting your existing work that you're doing on established platforms. Now, obviously, TikTok is established, but I would still say if you don't have the resources, it might not be worth diving full into TikTok. Think about what you can resource, where you can win, and really lean into those platforms. And if you want to get on a new platform, starting a month late, 2 months late, 3 months late on a platform isn't going to make or break you. It's okay. I always advise to actually sit back as a marketer, keep your eye on the platforms. What's going on, right? What's happening with this Clubhouse thing? But see, does it get enough traction for it to be real? And if it does, then hop in. I would way rather risk being a little late than wasting a ton of resources upfront on something that actually usually doesn't catch on. With that being said, resource what you can actually pull off and don't stretch your team way too thin. If you're in an executive spot and you've got a team under you, it actually is a big ask just to add in another platform. So just be cognizant of that. Also think about how does that new platform or that new initiative tie back to those KPIs that you established with the executive team, before you built your marketing plan. Okay, and the last thing with this, I'm going to say confidence and consistency go a long way as a marketer. And what I mean by that is having the confidence, and this sounds corny, but the truth of it is not to be a trend follower, but a trend setter. So that means being willing to beat your own drum, go down your own path, or whatever saying you want to insert there, but be willing to put on the blinders and do what you need to do creatively. Have the confidence to go out and create content for your customers, things that actually please them and help them out versus trying to impress other marketers. That's a huge issue I see is people want to win awards. They don't want to win customers or market share. Don't get caught up in the coloring contest. Instead, think about how your customers are going to perceive the messaging. How can you improve your company's relationship with current and target customers? That's going to do way more for you than trying to compete with, the agency down the road or the brand down the road that's way bigger or way smaller, whatever it may be, that's this one piece of viral content. That's being reactive. We want to be proactive in our creative, proactive in our marketing campaigns. That's going to go way further. And I want to make sure that we do this consistently. So look, one great piece of content is one great piece of content, but if you can create consistently, now you can be seen as a great company. So that's the other side of this is having confidence in yourself, but then really backing it up every day with the system, with content that you're proud of, that you put out on the regular. All right, that's it. A little bit of a short episode here. I hope it helps you, in your org. If you're feeling like, hey, I'm not really being respected by the other departments, I think this could help. We are going to actually include a link below to our social system. So it's a Notion template you can take, run. If you're having trouble building content, coming up with content ideas, go grab the link in the comments to this episode. It's free. We just ask for your email and then you have the system and you can run with it. It's what we use for all of our clients. So I think it could help you out. All right. As always, y'all, I'm Jordan Shelton. This was Mind Your Marketing, and I'll catch you next time.